Here's an item we forgot. You see this? It holds a promise for anyone who smokes. It's Oasis. And as its name implies, it promises you the most refreshing, the softest taste of all. Try Oasis. I think you'll like it.
Twilight Zone has been brought to you by Milk Wave Lilt, the new home permanent you mix with milk for curls that start soft and stay lively. Twilight Zone has been brought to you by Push Button Lilt, the foam home permanent for neat and easy curler permanents and neat and easy roller permanents too. Lilt. Twilight Zone, brought to you by Pall Mall Famous Cigarettes. Over, under, around, and through, Pall Mall travels pleasure to you. Twilight Zone has been brought to you by the American Tobacco Company on behalf of Pall Mall Famous Cigarettes. Twilight Zone has been brought to you by Crest, the toothpaste proved effective against cavities in year after year of clinical tests. Tests among thousands of families in homes like yours. Twilight Zone, brought to you by Prel Concentrate. Concentrated. So just this much gives you lots of lather. Prel Concentrate. Twilight Zone has been brought to you by Prel Concentrate. Concentrated. So just this much gives you lots of lather. Prel Concentrate. Twilight Zone, brought to you by Dual Filter Tareyton Cigarettes. The famous dual filter with activated charcoal brings through the great taste of Tareyton's fine tobacco.
Twilight Zone is being brought to you tonight by Kimberly-Clark, whose handy Kleenex paper products help you every day in so many ways. The Twilight Zone, brought to you tonight by the coffee with the best of the coffee bean. Aroma, flavor, but not caffeine. New Aroma Roast Sanka Coffee. The Twilight Zone is brought to you tonight by the newest coffee sensation on the modern scene. New Aroma Roast Sanka Coffee. Twilight Zone is being brought to you tonight by Kimberly-Clark, whose handy Kleenex paper products help you every day in so many ways. Twilight Zone was brought to you tonight by Kleenex Tissues.
The only tissue that gives you so much. The soft, strong tissue with the Kleenex touch.
The Twilight Zone is brought to you tonight by the perfect coffee on the modern scene. New Aroma Roast Sanka Coffee.
Tonight, new dry hair formula Halo, the newly mild shampoo specially prescribed for beautifying oil-robbed hair, brings you the Twilight Zone. Tonight, new dry hair formula Halo, the newly mild shampoo specially prescribed for beautifying oil-robbed hair, has brought you the Twilight Zone. Tonight, Wild Root Cream Oil, the lanolin-enriched hair tonic that keeps hair well groomed all day. Wild Root in bottle or tube brings you the Twilight Zone. New Vito Roll-On Deodorant with the new large roll-on ball. New Vito, which rolls on really effective protection, has brought you the Twilight Zone. The Twilight Zone is brought to you by New Contact, the decongestant capsule that relieves hay fever misery and head cold congestion up to 12 hours. All day or all night relief with Contact. Colgate Dental Cream with Gardol helps stop bad breath, helps fight decay, brings you The Twilight Zone. The Twilight Zone has been brought to you by Mobil, the high megatane rated gasoline, engineered to meet your motor's needs. The Twilight Zone, brought to you by Vaseline Hair Tonic, the clean hair tonic. Hair looks so clean, smells so clean with Vaseline Hair Tonic. The Twilight Zone, brought to you by New Handy Wrap, the clear new sandwich wrap in the giant 100-foot roll, economically priced like wax paper. The Twilight Zone has been brought to you by Chesterfield King, tobaccos too mild to filter, pleasure too good to miss, the wonderful taste of Chesterfield King. The Twilight Zone, brought to you by Rise Instant Lather. Rise, the lather that lets you shave fast, shave close without irritation. The Twilight Zone has been brought to you by Pepsi-Cola. People who like light, bracing, clean-tasting refreshment always say, Pepsi, please. Now it's Pepsi for those who think young. The Twilight Zone, brought to you by New Arid Cream Deodorant, the Vanishing Cream Deodorant, now fortified with Purse Stuff. The Twilight Zone has been brought to you by Arid Roll-On, the first non-sticky roll-on deodorant. For effective protection against perspiration, stains, and odor, New Arid Roll-On. The Twilight Zone has been brought to you by Polident Denture Cleanser, the soaking cleanser used by millions every day to fight denture breath and keep dental plates clean. Polident. The Twilight Zone is brought to you by the new Polaroid 10-second automatic camera. Only 3 buttons to push. 1, 2, 3, and in just 10 seconds, a finished picture. The Twilight Zone has been brought to you by the new Polaroid 10-second automatic camera. Only 3 buttons to push. 1, 2, 3, and in just 10 seconds, a finished picture. The Twilight Zone is brought to you by Hospital-Tested Nair, America's speed hair remover, available in lotion or cream. The Twilight Zone is brought to you by Bristol Myers, makers of Bufferin, the modern drug that brings relief from headache pain and protects against stomach discomfort. The Twilight Zone is brought to you by new Micron oral antiseptic from Johnson & Johnson. Twilight Zone has been brought to you by Johnson's Baby Powder and other fine baby products. Twilight Zone is brought to you by Johnson & Johnson, makers of Band-Aid shear strips. The Twilight Zone has been brought to you by Johnson & Johnson, makers of Band-Aid shear strips. Twilight Zone is brought to you by Studebaker Corporation and your Studebaker dealer. Twilight Zone has been